How do you handle dating in this world of dating? In this world of social media / dating apps, I struggle moving the conversation from the screen to real life. Any advice? You know what's the weirdest thing? When you really click with someone on text messaging or on an app, whether it's Instagram or an actual dating app, and then you meet them and that chemistry is not there. And whether it be from anxiety, nervousness, walls up, and that's something you just can't prep yourself for. You're just like, dang it, you're not as cool or as smooth. Or it could be you. You're like, I know I'm like dry now. And I think moving the conversation from screen to real life a lot of the times comes from how comfortable do you guys become, but in the same essence, not being so comfortable in just the screen time. So what I mean by that is, of course, if you're doing screen time because it's a long distance, it's a little bit different, but I don't need to be talking to you for a weeks at a time before meeting you in real life. Like, I should be talking to you, in my opinion, within 24 to 48 hours after getting to know you on screen. And I don't know if you guys are going to think that's a little crazy, but I recently read a Thread conversation. If you're not on Threads, it's actually pretty cool. I don't know what happened, but the engagement went up on it recently. And somebody was saying, what do you think is the timing that you should go from talking to dating exclusively in a relationship? And this girl wrote 2 years. I said, girl, what you mean 2 years? So many things can happen in 2 years. And for me, I think it just depends on who you're talking to, because everybody has different timelines, right? But for me, if I meet you on an app or on anything social media and you want to get to know me, at most within a week, we should be meeting face to face, because time's a ticking, one. And two, you just don't want to get too comfortable with the screen time where it becomes your safety blanket, in my opinion. So if you've already had a few months, it might be a little bit weird, but I think creating like, okay, when is this going to happen? And then making those consistent. Like, if you're dating someone or if you're talking to someone, I don't even know what the terms are nowadays, but if you're talking to someone, you should see them, in my opinion, within the first like 24, 48 hours or a week. And then after that, at minimum once a week, to try to get to know them on a physical level. And what I mean by physical is like doing an activity like golfing. I don't know why golfing came to mind. I suck at golfing, mini golfing. Or I don't know, going for a walk, going for ice cream. Everything also doesn't need to be so grandiose. It can be so simple. You could go for a walk, you could go to the mall. If they have a pet, or if you have a pet, you want to come with me to walk my dog to a dog park, and making things a lot more casual so it could start an organic friendship. I think more than anything, what's really important and what people are missing nowadays is building a friendship. But don't get so comfortable in the friendship and understanding that this person is hanging out with you because they actually want to build with you. And I think a lot of the times that's more what happens, is that you fall into the flow of, this is cool, why do we have to move it anywhere else? And it's like, because that's how relationships grow, and that's what you're supposed to do. Also, let's be honest, like, this is for the ladies and for the men, but courting still needs to exist in 2024. I don't care if the woman is well off. I don't care if the woman is not well off. Now, it all depends on who you are attracting and who you are giving your time to. But unless the man is sick in bed in the hospital or he is out of town, there is no reason why this timing of you talking to someone on a screen should go for longer than a week, because at that point you're just creating this comfortability of not having to do things and not having to really, I don't want to say create the pressure because I hate that word, but create intentionality in getting to know the other person. Intentionality in getting to know someone is so key and important. If you're not doing activities with me, you don't know how I'm going to react. I may react one way in nature that you may not like. And at that point, you're like, okay, I really want somebody that may not camp, but can, hold their own in a hike. If you are not taking someone out to eat or doing these things, you may not realize that this girl is not someone you actually would want to take to dinner with in the future after taking her to one place. If somebody was to take me to dinner, it's not even about the place that they're taking me to dinner. It's, did you choose this place because this is the type of food I like, or this is the type of ambience I like. I don't need a Michelin star restaurant, but I do need intentionality. And I speak for other women when I say it takes so little to make us happy if you actually just put in the effort to actually do the things that you know will make you happy. If you're out of town and you've been talking to this person for a while and you don't even bring back a keychain, I kid you not, she has at least told one friend about this, or she has told herself and felt a way about it. Because if men don't realize now that not only are women very detail oriented, but remember the small things, we all want to know that you thought about us or you're thinking about us when you're away. So it's just little things like that that I think makes sense, that a lot of the times in today, 2024, I think men forget to court, maybe because of the accessibility that there is to so many women, that you have to do so little to get an attention, to get a like, to get a comment, to get a compliment. But it doesn't take away from the people that are willing to give you the time and effort, are people that have higher value and will bring more value into your life than a comment or a like. Now, guys, if you're watching this, I'm not coming for you, but we don't want you to like all of our stories and not ask us on dates. We don't want you to like our stories or react to our stories and not text us or call us to see how our day was. That is not checking up on us at all. If anything, that frustrates a woman more, that you're peeping, you're watching, but you're not reaching out. And that screams low effort so heavily. Now, if you are dealing with a woman that has her own career, she is building her own thing, you actually need to put forth effort. Because if you're doing this to us, what makes us not think that you're doing this to 15 other people throughout the day? What makes us feel more special than that, you know? And I said it earlier, where it really doesn't take a lot for a woman to be happy. And I think a lot of the times the wonder or concern of, is this the best that I have, limits a lot of guys from doing things. Or maybe, is she gonna hurt me? But the same goes for the women. And I think that I wish and I hope, and I actually was having a conversation about this the other day, that I think relationships are starting to come back in style for a lot of people who are dating. And I've been seeing it, even like the way marketing and social media has been blending. And I really hope for that, because there's nothing more attractive than a guy being about you, especially in this day and age where I'm at. I don't want to play the games. I don't want to guess. I don't need to see you being the number one fan of all these people on social media. And the guy that tells you that social media is annoying or whatever, well, you're annoying by responding to everyone's stories, honey. Like, let's get it together, you know? Just like I protect my brand, you should protect your brand as a man, to not be disrespected, to not be laughed at, and to not be used as an example of what not to be. And it's as simple as that, whether you're with me or not. I think a lot of the times too, I could go on this forever. A lot of the times, if you get a woman that is intentional about relationships, you don't really have to have this exclusive conversation. It's more about, there's a level of respect that everybody understands. But when a man mentions the whole topic of, you're not locked in, we're not exclusive, we're not this, it is so unattractive to a woman, because at the end of the day, what you're letting her know is that whether you are or aren't doing something on the side, you still have that in your mind. And if that's the case, then maybe get someone that's more like that. Because I know the girls that I'm around and the girls that I surround myself with, we want to build with someone that intentionally wants something. And you're not going to know that off the first date, but you're also not going to be wondering if this person is even worth your time when you've been talking to them for a few months. So understanding and knowing like when to grow up.